Hi, I am Rose, and you're listening to the Sovereign Soul podcast. I support awakening souls live beyond their ego and limitations so that they can know true freedom. The end of the last episode, I ended on a note about parenting and conscious parenting. And I'm going to climb into the subject because it's something that's very near and dear to my own heart. I myself am a single mom of four, and I've been a single mom for many, many, many years, far more years than what I have been with a partner. And I take my parenting role very, very seriously, not because I feel forced to or because I feel like life has happened to me. I do it because I genuinely love these human beings that we have chosen to have a journey together. I believe in conscious choice. I believe I chose to have my children. And I know people talk about somebody being a mistake, and me myself, I was raised to believe that I was very unwanted and that I was a great big mistake that should have never been born. And that hurt me a lot. Bless my mom, bless my dad, bless my whole family, because I know that they would have done better had they known better. But the journey I had was the journey I had, and I believe I chose it, so I don't hold any grudges, but I did learn from what I experienced. And the things I learned were, number one, I never want my children to feel like they are a burden to me. I never want my children to feel like they are unwanted, and I never want my children to feel unloved. These were three very key things that I brought from my childhood to bring consciously into the lives of my children. Was raising my children easy and a walk in the park? Well, no, not if somebody wants to look at it on the terms of like having loads of support and having loads of help. No, that wasn't the story that I chose. The story that I chose was actually quite painful in a lot of scenarios with my kids. Particularly for my oldest son, we had a long period of separation because of some other complication with his father, which was awful, absolutely awful. So I have had incredibly painful moments with being a mom. It's not like it's just been this beautiful butterflies and rainbows, but I have chosen to take every single situation to help me be a better person and actually help me be a better mother. I honestly have said so many times, my children make me a better person because I want to give them what I didn't have. I want to give them a foundation that I never had on the emotional side. So when I look at my children and their own emotional maturity and capacity where they are now, blown away. I was like, they're like light years ahead of me. And that's a wonderful thing because I have tried to consciously embrace motherhood no matter what those situations and circumstances are. During motherhood, I have gone through difficult relationships, divorce, starting from scratch, having absolutely nothing. And when I say a lack of support, my younger three children are born in very close proximity to one another. They are 1 year apart, and there are three of them. So I had my daughter, and 12 months later, I had twin boys. So I know what it is to be a very, very busy mom. And we also landed up moving country, and I was on my own with my babies. My husband was away all day working, and it was just me and my three babies day in, day out. We didn't have money. It was a crazy situation. Let's just put it that way. So I know hardship, and it's not that I don't have compassion for people who are struggling, but I also know that you're one choice and decision away from making parenting be magical. you can choose that experience by completely and entirely surrendering to the process of the things that you have chosen. So for me, I realized that if I'm a mom and I see no other way other than me raising these babies, that was my only choice for me. That was the one I'm making. Well, then I'm going to make that choice, and I'm going to hold my head up high and put my shoulders back, and I'm going to friggin' rock that choice, because my children will not be a reason why I will have an emotional response to something, or why I'd be frustrated, or why I'm not feeling terrible. Did I get that right in the beginning? No, I definitely did not. I was not awakened when I had my kids, and I often say they didn't get the best of me for the first few years of their life. It was only after 2016 where I could really, really give them the best of me. I became far more conscious, and I also started learning how to drive myself better, and I could release all of my baggage to become a proper conscious parent. To me, a conscious parent, yes, somebody, they talk about, taking balance for yourself and blah, blah, blah. But to be quite honest, I don't see it as that. I see it as consciously being responsible for your part of the relationship and teaching your children to be emotionally mature, having a high emotional intelligence, learning mindfulness and how to navigate themselves in life, and how to be kind people as well as loving, lovable people. Teach them how to have boundaries, and teach them just how to be really good, healthy members of society. And obviously the best way to do that is to teach them by example. But there I deviate a little bit, because the point of what this whole talk is about is really to say to people that parenting is a choice, and you need to actually take responsibility for that. I always say, if you choose to have sex, you choose to have a kid. So there's no such thing as a child that is a mistake. Sure, sometimes there are violent attacks that may happen, but even then we have the power within us to say, well, I must have chosen that really shitty experience for something good, and so therefore I did choose to have the baby. I might not remember choosing something so violent or awful, but it's happening, so therefore I must have chosen it. And for everybody else who's just having normal shagging, a consequence of shagging is a baby. That's just all there is to it. So whether you were consciously thinking, I want to have a baby, or I don't, if you are having sex, there's a possibility of a baby. Finished. So I don't believe in baby mistakes. Not at all. So own it. Own that you've chosen to be a parent. Number 2, I think one of the best advices I can give to a parent is own your own emotions. Don't make your children feel responsible for your emotional outbursts. Sure, it can be frustrating because we can't control people, and then we want to throw our toys out the cart because we can't control this, and so we're going to scream like a child. We're going to throw the tantrum, and we're going to fear. We're going to put those kids into like a fearful or a manipulated submission to us. Sure, sometimes I think discipline is important. Don't get me wrong, because I definitely think discipline is important when kids are younger. But ultimately, if we have a fat wobbly, it's our fat wobbly. It's not because of our child. It's because the wobbly existed within us and we were triggered, and we are probably feeling out of control because we're trying to control something that we can't. So own your feelings and your emotions, and stop making your children feel like mommy's cross because you're naughty, because that's just bullshit. I don't believe you actually get naughty children or naughty pets. You just get naughty parents. Let's rather put it that way. So you don't get bad children, bad pets, you get bad parents. So take responsibility for being a parent, and take responsibility for your emotional responses. And that way you can also teach your children how to navigate their own emotions by not spewing their toxicity onto others, and you then are stop spewing your toxicity onto them. Because one of the surest ways to bring up children that are oversensitive to everybody else's emotions and feel automatically like, oh my God, if someone's upset, it's my fault, is a parent that keeps telling them, I'm angry because of you, I'm sad because of you, I'm disappointed because of you. That is how you raise children to feel responsible for other people, and they find it hard to even meet a stranger who's upset and they think it's them. So I'm sure if you have been brought up in a similar situation or had those circumstances, you'll be able to relate to what I'm talking about. So those are actually the main two takeaways I wanted people to get from this. I want people to be able to understand that parenting is a choice. Own your choice. It's not your children's fault. Make a conscious choice and what energy you're putting out into your kids. Do you understand that your behavior is having the impact on how they're going to relate to themselves and the world? And don't you want that to be healthy? So take that responsibility too. And so be responsible for your own emotions and be mindful in the way in which you're teaching your children through the example that you live by. And I think that is the perfect reason to heal yourself and be responsible for yourself. For me, my kids, like I say, have been the biggest motivation for me to be the absolute best human being I can be and continue to. Fucking love my kids. Anyway, that's it for today. Again, if there's anything that's unclear, please let me know in the comments. If you are looking for any resources, please by all means reach out. I have lots of them. And okay, until the next one.